Hey, lead guitar players. I want to talk about a real fundamental idea about one of the two approaches we take when we solo. Do we solo with one scale over everything, or do we pick different scales and different ideas to mix and match? Let's talk about playing the changes. Hey, lead guitar players. Let's talk today a little bit musically and a little bit as a guitar player. And let's discuss the two different ways we approach soloing. Again, this can be on any instrument, and the idea is kind of simple. One is global. The global approach to improv or making solos, creating melodies, is to pick one scale that works with all the chords. Usually that's the pentatonic of the key you're in, or based on the chord you're playing, excuse me. And it's a very safe way to play. It works almost all the time, and it's a great thing to lean on when you need it most. When you're asked to jump in with a band or something like that, and you're not sure what to do, lean on that one scale that'll work to get you through a great solo. Another side of things is when we play the changes. Playing the changes is when you adjust your idea to better reflect the notes of a chord at a given moment. What I mean by that is if we have two chords in a song, let's say we have A minor and D, I would determine probably that if I played them, that the A minor probably feels like my home bass because it wants to resolve there. So I could play an A minor pentatonic, again, as a musician. Let's talk pentatonics for a minute. And that would work over both. That's great. That's a global approach. We'll try that in a second with our backing track here. We're also going to try the playing the changes approach, where you take each chord at face value. Kind of like when you can address a group of friends as, hey everybody, or hey Bill, Tom, Jane, and Judy, whoever. You can address them individually. It's much more personal, and it brings out a better quality probably. So when you play the A minor chord, you would match it with an A minor pentatonic scale. Again, this is as a musician, not pattern 1 or 2. This is just musical decisions first. When we go to the D chord, we would play a D major pentatonic to go with that chord. And if you actually compared the 5 sets, the 5 tones of each scale, there's some overlap in them, and there's a couple of ones that don't match that help bring out the sound of the chord. So we're going to try these two different methods of playing globally and playing the changes. Let's check it out. So this is on Lead Guitar Workshop. This is the backing track we have for an A minor to D7 chord. So here's the A minor, there's the D chord. A minor, D7. It's okay that it says D7 chord. There's still a major chord at its heart. So as the band's building up here. So I could just play A minor pentatonic. Now as a guitar player, I'll probably choose pattern 1 right on the 5th fret just to be easy to talk about. So here's the scale. I could jam on it a little bit. A little sequence from before we did those. A little blue note. That works great. But now let's say if we go, let's talk directly to that D chord as well. So we had let's take some 4 notes of our A minor scale. Let's move those. So we have, right, that went with the A minor chord. Now for the D chord, I'm gonna think rock and roll rule, right? Put the pinky on my D, the 10th fret. That looks like a B minor scale, but it's also D major. Those are called relatives. So I'm gonna use these tones for the D chord. All right, here's the A, the D, A, D, A. That was the D, right? So you can go back and forth, and at first it sounds a little mechanical, it's a little restricted, but you have to get used to this. So let's try it again. 3, 4. Here's A, D, A, D. And of course, we're talking A minor as I say that. So we can also kind of look at what the notes that are changing and what are staying the same. So if I look at the top 4 notes of my A minor, it's kind of this big shaped box. But if I looked at my D major scale of what was here, I would see pattern 1 up here on the 10th to 7th frets, and pattern 5 encompasses just the 5th and 7th frets. So if I go back and forth between those pairs, I can really bring out the sound of the chords as they go by. All right, ready? Here's the A. D. A. Now I can even more so keep that C note in the game because we're playing a D7 chord and there's a C note in there. So really I can just bring out the sound of this note here. That's the high note of that box of A minor. That's a G note. And that really brings out the changes. If you look at an A minor chord to the D, there's that F sharp right on the 7th fret. So watch how I bring it out. Here's the A minor, D, A, D. And you've heard this sound. You can even drop down to the F sharp. Like that. A. Even the 1-2 slide lick. D. A. D. As you can see, so that's just the start of just influencing. So I took the pentatonic scales and went from an A minor scale to a D major scale. I tried to find out where some of those common notes just overlapped just in one position just to help bring out that sound. It is nice to think you should do this in all positions, all keys, everywhere you do it. But man, that's a tall order to fill. Take it one step at a time, one pattern, one position, one move you do all the time. Exploit that move and take it a little further to help bring out chord changes. So that's just a basic idea of playing the changes. It's such a huge topic. We'll have a bunch of conversations about this. But for me, it was just kind of eye-opening just to think about the idea. And as I listened to solos, I heard so many people moving stuff around. Everyone I listened to did it. Whether it was David Gilmour, he does it all the time, outlining chord shapes as the changes go by. Eddie Van Halen loves playing the changes. Jimi Hendrix does it. He'll just move a note 1 fret, and you wonder why that happens. Look at the chords at the moment, and you'll see why he's doing that. And again, different players get there for different reasons, but they all get to the same result of really addressing each chord individually. Last parting thought, one of the hardest parts about this is in your head. It's trying to keep the chords going in your brain as you're soloing. So often when I would take a solo when I was younger, I would just float out into the stratosphere and wait for my bandmates to reel me back in when I was done. And although that was fun and energetic, if you will, it's much more satisfying to play the changes. You have to keep them in your brain. So you're thinking A minor, D, A, D, A, D, A. You can hear them even just as I'm playing there because I'm bringing out the sound of each chord. So empower yourself to think like a musician. Take it a step further than just a guitar player with patterns. Think about how these notes work for you, and you'll grow so much from it. All right, check out leadguitarworkshop.com. Please subscribe to our channel here at YouTube and check out our Facebook and Instagram, all your things. And keep playing, rock on. Let me know in the comments what you think, what you like, what you don't like, and what you'd like to hear next. I'd love to know. All right, rock and roll. Thanks, guys.